Hello everyone, I'm back with another Reddit Addicts episode. If you find my videos entertaining, please kindly subscribe and like them. Thanks to everyone for your suggestions and kind notes. Now, let's get started with today's exciting stories.
Girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend. I've been going out with this girl for the last year and a half. We lived together, helped each other with bills. We had most of the same friends. One friend in particular seemed like a brother to me. We hung out all the time. If there was ever anything going on, we were usually in it together. He had relationship problems recently, and actually went so far as to consider committing suicide. When he left a note for me and my significant other, I wasted no time in calling the police. After noticing some seemingly innocent status updates on his Facebook, but which took on much more dire connotations in light of his suicide note, we realized he was updating them via his smartphone. We gave the number to the dispatcher, and they tracked it down. Before long, police rolled up and placed him under arrest and transported him to the hospital. Once things were under control, the nurse came out to a waiting room full of people there to show support to our friend. She said that at this time, he can only have one visitor. I looked at everyone and every single person there looked at me, unanimously deciding that I should be the one. "You're his best friend," they said. "You called the police. You acted. You should go see him." So I went and I saw. A tear-stained hug and some easy banter exchanged, things seemed to be on an upward trend. He never hurt himself. He was released a few days later, and everyone was making an effort to keep him occupied. We always had a friend's place to go to and hang out, a movie to hit up, some games to play. What sparked this was the fact that his significant other decided to leave him for someone else. This marks the second time this happened to him. That was background on the friend. Now it's time for the girlfriend. We had an issue a few months back. She developed feelings for a friend of ours. She never did anything physical, but she was texting him inappropriate things. Several things were the cause of this. In my opinion, this first one is one of the most important. "I'm safe and boring." Ever seen that movie, This Means War? With the two brothers who accidentally date the same girl, and end up fighting over her? One is exciting, goes to clubs, dresses nice, and drives nice cars, all that nonsense. The other one is described as safe and boring. There's not much excitement there. You kind of see what's coming before it happens, and you're not impressed at either point. But, like any roller coaster, you don't have the downs that accompany it either. That's one of the few things I have going for me. I'm stable, comfortable, upfront. If I'm thinking something and you need to know, I'll tell you. I won't pretty it up or draw it out or hide it behind fake smiles and dirty looks to your back. I won't let it fester and blow up in your face later. I'll tell you. In fact, I'll tell you my thought process just so you can better understand why I'm feeling the way I do. I'm safe. This friend from a few months ago was exciting. She's young, and that excitement attracted her. I made a mistake too. I checked her phone without her permission. It's kind of hard to feel bad though, considering what I found. I called her out on a few of the things she was texting him. She apologized and said it wouldn't happen again. The biggest thing for me though, was that she lied. I'm an open-minded kind of guy. I understand the excitement that comes from sleeping with someone else. I enjoy that too. That's why we actually tried swinging a couple of times. It allows us to experience that excitement without cheating on each other or going behind each other's backs. In my opinion, there's the physical part of a relationship, and the emotional part. I don't mind both of us sleeping with another couple. But, emotionally, we belong to each other, and no one else. That's my thinking on that subject. Everyone may not agree with it. I just ask that you don't judge me on it. This is why I can honestly say, if she had told me about her feelings before pursuing them, I might have been more open to the idea. I told her that too. Just don't lie to me, I told her. You can tell me anything. You can tell me you want to sleep with this guy, or you're developing feelings for that guy. And I wouldn't hold it against her. But if she does things behind my back, that pisses me off. After that first time, I thought things would get better. Then I find out that she went to lunch with this guy without telling me. After what happened the first time, her excuse was that she didn't think it'd be a problem because it's a public place. I called her out on that too. I reiterated the fact that I just want her to be honest with me. Quit lurking in the shadows trying to have your cake and eat it too. Be honest, and things will go a lot smoother. Then the big one hit. Well, not the big one. But it was pretty big. I was just finishing up a shower. I passed by the computer chair that she was sitting on, and caught a glance at her phone. I thought I saw another text to this guy, a rather inappropriate text. I asked her about it. I asked if I could see her phone. She gave it to me without any hesitation. I checked, but couldn't find the message. I honestly thought I was getting paranoid. I asked her, and she replied in the negative. She never sent anything like that. I apologized, honestly concerned for my sanity. It's not healthy to become obsessed over anything, but especially not your significant other's devotion to you. I hopped on Facebook later that day, and saw the guy I thought she was texting. As I mentioned, he's a mutual friend of both of ours. I apologized, and asked his advice. I think I'm losing my mind. I thought I saw her sent you a text along the lines of. She did, he responded. What? I replied. She sent that text. I can show it to you when we come over later if you want. Yes, please. He comes over later and shows me the text. It's exactly what I thought I saw. She deleted it on the fly without me noticing. I thought I was paying close attention. She didn't even delete the whole thread, just that one message that could be construed in a negative light. Side note, the friend never did anything to instigate any of this. He never led her on or left suggestive comments. He was proper the whole time. The only thing he might have done wrong is not tell me about it immediately. Okay, back to the story. I called her out on it. I told her that I saw the text. I told her that she lied to my face. She looked me in the eye and lied without even flinching, without even feeling remorse. I told her after the lunch thing that if she did anything of the sort again, I was going to leave her. And I did. I broke up with her that night. She lied to me, to the point where I was questioning my sanity. I'm good at reading people, but I couldn't detect a hint of anything when she told me she didn't text that to him. She is very good at lying. And I left her. Later that night, the friend's significant other texted me and talked to me for a while. She said that I should give her another shot. You can always break up later if she does it again. But if you leave her, there's no taking that back. I had calmed down a bit by this point, and thought I saw reason in her words. So, I took her back. I stressed the importance of honesty, of not lying. It's not like she actually cheated on me or anything, it was just some text messages. And things went fine for the next few months. But I never trusted her after that. After I saw her ability to lie, I never trusted her. Fast forward to after the suicide incident. We've been kind of rocky since the inappropriate text messages. but we're getting through it. Then I start noticing little things. Things I saw before. Things that led to me checking her phone and finding inappropriate text messages to a friend of ours. You see, when you're cheating on someone, you act different. You don't realize it, but you do. Little things here and there add up subconsciously in the mind of someone who knows you well. Like your significant other. These things added up in my head the first time. These things were happening again. I checked her phone. Again, I should feel bad about that, but considering what I had found, it's hard to feel bad. She slept with him. The suicide guy. She was talking about how good he was, and he was returning the praise. I called her out on it. Apparently it had been happening for the last 3 days. 3 times. All at his place. And it was going to keep happening. Here was a guy that I thought was my best friend. Here was a guy that I would have done anything for, without hesitation. And he was banging my girlfriend behind my back. After he just went through his girlfriend cheating on him with another guy, he goes and has sex with my girlfriend. Here was a girl that I cared about a lot. Here was a girl that I gave several chances to, explaining in great detail my need for honesty. I told her. She had trouble believing this at first, but considering who I am and our past, she had to concede that I probably was telling the truth about this, that if she had told me she wanted to sleep with him, I probably would have been okay with it. Honesty was what mattered to me. But she lied. And she was going to keep lying. I had to get out of there. I hopped in my car. There are several highways around our city that connect and make a sort of square. I circle that when I get upset. I'm glad there weren't many police out that night, because I know I broke several speed limits. I played something loud and violent, and turned it up to drown out my thoughts. My friends were there for me. Several took me out that night to some social events for our summer. We got shakes, drove around, listened to music, watched a marathon finish up. Then we went back to a friend's place and drank. I hoped that would help, but it didn't. I got a slight buzz, but one of the friends drank too much and started vomiting. Another was pretty hammered. And here I barely got a buzz. Loose sigh. I cleaned up the one friend and put them both to bed. I cleaned up the mess so the roommates wouldn't be upset in the morning. I washed the one friend's clothes, and the blanket that she threw up on. Then I lay down to go to sleep. And my brain started processing everything I had been putting off. I didn't sleep that night. I did my best to go about my normal business. I searched for the inner fat kid in me and curled up to some Fritos scoops with cheese dip and a cold Pepsi. Skyrim on the tube, forgetting my world by delving into the world of dragons. Over the next few days my friends really helped. They distracted me. They consoled me. They were there for me. Obviously all of them have less than positive feelings toward my ex and her most recent lover. But I still feel something toward her. It pains me to see her at odds with everyone she knew. She has no one to turn to in her time of pain. Granted, she caused it and deserves it, but love is strange. I want to help her. I don't think I want to date her. She's young and flighty, apparently. But I'd like to be her friend. I'd like to help her bridge the gaps she made in her other friendships. I don't mind if she dates someone else, sleeps with someone else, or anything like that. As I said, I don't want to date her. But I can't handle her hanging around that guy. She doesn't have anyone to turn to, so she turns to him. I don't know if they had sex, or if they just hung out. But she was with him. I explain my reasoning. I can be friends with her, but not if she's with him. I always hated the people that leave ultimatums like that, but in this case, I feel it's justified. I make sure she understands that I'm not trying to give her false hope. I'm only offering a friendship, and a rocky one at that. But she has to give him up. She can't have us both, in any capacity. Reddit, am I wrong to do this? I don't like leaving that sort of ultimatum. It may even be a bad idea for me to consider even being friends with her. But this is what I did. She couldn't decide right away. And that hurt. The fact that it wasn't a snap decision hurt me quite a bit. I thought I was handling it well, but in fact I was just putting it off. And that brought it back. She thinks so little of me that she may end up choosing him over me. She has to weigh her options. Given her penchant for lying, I explained to her that she won't be able to placate me with promises, and then sneak around behind my back. If I catch even a whiff of her doing anything, I'm gone for good. I do my best to get my point across. But then again, I thought I got my point across the last time. This is my story, Reddit. I'm sorry it's long and quite long-winded. It helps to get this all of my chest though. I'm doing my best to give enough backstory so you fully understand the level of betrayal I've endured. What should I do now? TLDR, my girlfriend of a year and a half slept with my best friend. There's some backstory to further illustrate just how vile and evil this act was. And some questions at the end. Update. It's been a bit of a roller coaster. I tried to do what everyone told me not to. I tried to be friends, keep the lines of communication open, all of that nonsense. We slept together once since we broke up. Strictly for the physical, on my end there were no feelings to be had. Stupid, I know. It hasn't happened again. She's gone on dates and, in all likelihood, has slept with other men. I'm okay with that. It doesn't cause my blood to boil the way it used to. Recently, however, she has been an emotional wreck. I think she always assumed we'd get back together. She tried recently, and realized for the first time that it wasn't happening. Now she's in a depressed funk, pushes everyone away and then gets upset that she's alone and no one's there to check on her. Crying, not eating, etc. I tried to help for a while, but every time she would turn our conversation toward trying to get back together. Playing on my sympathies, trying to manipulate me. It's a lot easier to see now that I'm not so blinded. As for the other guy, the story is a bit sadder. I mentioned in the first post how he had tried to commit suicide a while back, and I was the one there for him. Well, he tried again, only this time he succeeded. I'll admit that I had no interest in seeing him ever again, but I certainly never wanted this. However, I can't help but feel at least partially responsible. Everyone assures me this isn't the case, but still. This has also added to the depression that the girl is experiencing, and she even lightly touched on the prospect of following in his footsteps. I got a hold of a lot of the people that still cared about her, gave them her address, updated them on the situation, and stepped away. I understand her friends and family are helping her. Spending time with her, getting her out into the world, trying to make sure she's not spending a lot of time alone. I, however, am trying to keep my distance. Any help to be had can't come from me. There's nothing I can say or do that would help, so my best option is to keep my distance. I'm hoping things turn out okay. There's been entirely too much drama over the course of this year. All I wanted was the quiet life. I'm the safe guy, remember? All of this excitement drains the life out of me. So, here's to a quieter future. Raises can of Pepsi in hand. Oh, and thanks to everyone who offered support and advice. Reddit really is a good community, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
We hope you enjoyed this story. Thanks for watching and hope to see you in the next video. And before you go, please be sure to subscribe for more.